There's nothing that I love more than 2-in-1 combos. DVD and VCR combos, heater and fan combos, cat dog. So when my brother bought this 2004 Chevy Avalanche, I was surprised at how much this SUV and truck combo is capable of. And I was so happy to see it making a comeback as the Silverado EV, which I feel like should have been called the Avalanche or something, right? Because it's like a Avalanche EV, not a Silverado. I unfortunately do not have an Avalanche to review for you today. But like many of you, that thing is way, way out of our price range. So many of us may be turning to its forgotten predecessor for some, the Avalanche. The Avalanche came in many trim levels, from the base model LS to the mid-tier LT to the off-road Z71 to the luxury LTZ to the final edition Black Edition. And then there were the Escalade EXT trim levels, which were even more luxurious than the top level Avalanche one for that ultra luxury experience, which was great because the consumer really had a lot of great options. Were you just looking to haul a bunch of employees and some dirty work equipment? Were you looking to move around your family and have something for those weekend projects? Were you looking for something to go off-road for little camping trips? Were you looking to haul your old money family or chauffeur people around? Chances are the Avalanche could do all those things. This Avalanche here is the Z71 trim, which means that it came with a couple off-road goodies. It had some off-road suspension, some skid plates, nice locking differential, but most importantly, had this nice Z71 badge saying, hey, I'm special. Right away, we have to talk about the Midgate. This Midgate makes the Avalanche, and it's by far the most important and most impressive part of this vehicle. It was basically a Swiss Army knife, blending SUV comfort with pickup practicality. In its normal configuration, it just works as a bed, right? These tonneau covers help keep your cargo safe from the elements, and this rubber and plastic bed helps keep the unsecured cargo minimally damaged. But what if you needed to haul something longer than 5 feet? No problem. Just fold down your rear seats. You now have an 8-foot fully covered bed. Fully covered. That's right. You could haul a 4x8 sheet of plywood with interior access to mess with it from either the driver's seat or the passenger seat inside. Crazy. Insane. The durable plastic continues on to the interior, so the materials that you're hauling will most likely not damage any of the nice leather or cloth interior that you have. But what if you needed to haul something tall? Also no problem. The window can be removed, as well as the tonneau covers, to create an even larger space for you to haul anything that you desire. It's unbelievable that other vehicles don't follow this model. There's so much versatility. It's truly unreal. My one complaint, though, is that the Midgate is not cut into a 60/40 specification, allowing for at least one, even two passengers to be sitting in the back while the Midgate is folded down. This would be so great because you're not always hauling something wide enough that needs 3 seats of width. You go to Home Depot with your wife and baby, buy a bunch of 8-foot 2x4s, fold the Midgate down. Now you and your wife have no choice but to either choose between leaving the 2x4s or your baby at Home Depot. The new Silverado EV has this feature, which is great, but unfortunately the Avalanche does not. I was reading somewhere that supposedly the reason the Avalanche didn't have a 60/40 cut like that was because of technological limitations at the time, and the engineers just simply couldn't make it a waterproof seal to have a cut like that. But supposedly the new Silverado EV doesn't have that problem. So perhaps they finally were able to figure out a way to make that cut and make it waterproof and safe from the elements. Or maybe they don't care and they're just hoping nothing gets damaged while it's still under warranty. Interior wise, the Z71 trim offered either leather or cloth seats with LT trim comfort features like dual zone climate, premium audio with a subwoofer, and an additional sunroof, which this model doesn't have. This specific Avalanche came with leather seats and, well, no sunroof, like I mentioned earlier. But something really cool that my brother did was he swapped this center console that used to be here into a bench seat or a sixth seat configuration that is only offered in the base LS trims of these Avalanches. Any leather or luxury interior Avalanche was forced to come with a center console, but my brother replaced it with this and 3D printed a separate mount for the subwoofer that used to be mounted to the original center console. I absolutely love this because you get the best of both worlds. You still get this really nice leather, comfortable interior and the higher trim level, like the dual climate zone and all that, but you still get the sixth seat, which I really wish that they offered that for regular higher trim level Avalanches, because sixth seat is really, really nice, especially if you need it in a pinch. Under this huge engine bay, this Avalanche Z71 has the 5.3 liter Vortec V8, which has been a wonderful and proven engine that has been used for decades in the Avalanche and other models by Chevy like the Suburban, the Silverado, and the Tahoe. The early years had an iron block, but later years they switched to an aluminum block. This engine has a timing chain, not a belt, so no scheduled major replacements for that. You can easily go past 200,000 miles with this engine as long as you treat it right and keep up with your scheduled maintenances. One of the downfalls of these engines is oil consumption, especially if you have one of the newer models with this engine that have AFM. AFM is active fuel management, which basically is the system that tries to maximize the MPG out of the engine by shutting off cylinders. This came out in the 2007 and later models, and there were a lot of problems with it. It was cool on paper, but a lot of people ended up just getting a kit to delete the AFM from their engines. But because this specific Avalanche is a 2004, it does not have AFM, which is a big bonus. Oh, yeah. Driving this thing, you feel like the king of the road. Just, you have this large, plush interior with leg room for days, and you can just lounge out and relax. And that's also something I just really love about these old American vehicles. It's just couches on wheels, man. God, there's so much room in here. Being an SUV truck hybrid, this vehicle handles so well because it has SUV suspension. Mainly, it has independent rear suspension, which is really, really rare for a truck, but it's pretty common for an SUV. And since this is kind of a SUV truck hybrid, not kind of, but it really is an SUV truck hybrid, you get the luxury of having the independent rear suspension. And this V8, oh my God, it's so great. Not only do you have an 8,000 pound towing rate, but you have so much power that, whew, if you're not careful, you might get into trouble. In my opinion, this setup right here is the perfect multi-purpose vehicle in the perfect generation and the perfect trim. You get an SUV and truck at the same time. You get a great engine with great power and reliability that does not have the troublesome AFM of the later years. You get luxury, but not so luxurious that you're afraid to scratch and ding it, but also not so cheap that you don't want to use it for anything else besides work. You have off-roading upgrades and four-wheel drive to get you to most places that the average car can't get to. But also, it's not so off-road focused that it's not comfortable to drive anymore. And finally, you have this super sweet bench seat swap that allows you to carry 6 people in a pinch, but also you get the nice center console fold down when you're just relaxing and driving with up to 5 people. So, before you go out and compromise by buying a truck like the F 150 or buying an SUV like the Land Cruiser, or before going out and pulling out a second mortgage to take a loan out on the new Silverado EV, I implore you, look at the 2-in-1s of the world, the microwave ovens of the world, vehicles like the Chevy Avalanche. Thank you so much for watching.